community organizations and leaders to maintain positive relationships and solve community problems. The sheriff is voted by the people and represents the people and is the top law enforcement in our area. With that, I will give you Marquise Cantu for his 3 minutes.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Marquise Cantu. I'm running for Llano County Sheriff here. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself, and then I want to tell you what I want to do with the Sheriff's Office in the future. I grew up in San Angelo, Texas. Spent a lot of time in San Saba, Texas, not far up the road, just north of here. In 1989, I graduated from San Angelo Central High School, and I went to school in University of Texas of Austin and Austin Community College. And then shortly after that, in 1990, I decided to follow my father's footsteps, and I joined the United States Marine Corps. I earned the title of United States Marine, where I was served for 4 years. I was an 0351 anti-tank assaultman and infantryman. I served in Operation Desert Storm, and after my 4 years in the Marine Corps, I was honorably discharged. I got out in August of 1994. And in December of 1994, I was accepted to the DPS Academy in Austin, where I became a Texas State Trooper. I went through school for about 6 months and became a trooper. I was stationed in Snyder, Texas, which is a small town right outside the Post, Lubbock area. I transferred around a little bit south of Fort Worth. There's a little town called Cleburne. I went to Waco, and then from there I became a narcotics agent, where I was transferred to Midland for about a year. I later transferred to Austin, and then became a Texas Ranger in 2008. In 2012, I transferred to this area and became your Texas Ranger, where I served for the last 8 years of my career. Currently, I am the Justice of the Peace. I'm holding that position until my successor is found, but I'm currently actively doing the duties of the Justice of the Peace. I magistrate people in the jail. I conduct inquests, marry people. And what I want to do in the future for the Sheriff's Office, I have a lot of experience being a highway patrolman, a narcotics agent, and a Texas Ranger. I want to guide the patrol division of the Sheriff's Office. I want to guide the CID division, and I want to provide any kind of assistance and learn what happens in the jail. I do have some experience in the jail with jail deaths. There is admin personnel there that I want to maintain and keep. And the last part of the Llano County Sheriff's Office is our dispatch, which dispatches our officers to violent crimes that occur or any kind of calls that within the county. I want to be your next sheriff, and I'd be proud to have your vote. My name is Marquise Cantu. I'm running for sheriff. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Les Hartman. I appreciate your time tonight. I am a lifelong resident here in Llano County. My folks, my great-grandfather moved here back in 1980 and set up a farm and a ranch in operation. I'm proud to say still in operation 144 years this year. To do all of that and through those generations, it takes grit, it takes determination, it takes all those things that was passed on to me as I've come through here. I've been involved with my community for many, many years, and leadership roles and things with the community is what I've been doing. I've been serving on several boards within the county of Llano, to include the Llano County Farm Bureau Board, of which I was a board member and president of the board. The Hill Country Livestock Raisers Association, board member and president of the board. 20 years of my life on the Valley Spring Volunteer Fire Department, serving as assistant chief and chief. Administrative skills and leadership are things in every profession that I've had that I've been able to share. I'm married to my lovely wife, Glenda. We have a daughter who turned 16 yesterday. Praise the Lord. I think that's what I'm supposed to say. But anyway, this is my home. This is my passion. This is my love, my county. I started with the Sheriff's Office back in 2015. I left there in 2022. I'm currently a patrol sergeant at the City of Llano Police Department. I'm the kind of man that believes in that you have to have trust, integrity, and transparency from your law enforcement people You can't expect to do a job for the community when you don't have their trust. There's a whole lot of things that we need to look at the sheriff's office, because over the last few years things haven't been just great. The morale is low. We've seen a revolving door, people leaving, as many as 8 people in the last year. We've got to be able to retain those employees and create a work environment that is good for the people and they want to work here. We fix those things inside the office and have leadership that is supportive of all of their staff, both professionally and personally. Those are the things that create a great staff of people that will absolutely support one another and be able to serve you better. Those are the things that I have in mind, and there's a whole lot more that goes into that. I realize that. We'll get to that, I'm sure, as we go through the night. But I appreciate you being here. My name is Les Hartman. I would appreciate your consideration in our vote.
Thank you. Thank you both. All right, we have a hypothetical question from one of our members. The federal government, whether through Congress or by executive order, has outlawed possession of semi-automatic firearms and magazines holding more than 10 rounds. Federal law enforcement agents are en route to Llano County to seize these commonly owned items from Llano County citizens. What will be the response of the Llano County Sheriff's Department under your leadership?
A lot of times the federal agents come into our areas and they let the sheriff's office know, because it's a courtesy that they're going to be in our backyard. If they let me know that that's what they're going to do, I'm going to question what they're doing, and I'm going to make sure that they're doing things lawfully. If they are not doing things lawfully, I'm going to intercept that and make sure that that does not happen. We'll protect your Second Amendment rights. If they come into the county and I'm unaware of it, and then someone calls 911 or whoever they're trying to go to the home of, and they call 911 and the deputies will respond, I'm sure that the sheriff will be notified and then respond as well. And I will try to make sure that the person that's inside the home is safe, and make sure that we de-escalate the situation, we find out what's going on. But I will protect your Second Amendment rights. That's first and foremost. That's my job as a sheriff.
Thank you. Same question for you.
So in a situation like that, you're going to end up knowing if there has been any laws passed. And the reason for that is because somebody can't just make up a law that'll come and do that. It's going to have to be passed by the Congress. The Constitution is the law of the United States, and that's what we have to look at. We've got to pay attention to that. And I will stand up against that if it doesn't go through the proper channels and things aren't done. We have to make sure that if there's laws, like we were talking about mandates with the DAs, that's not a law. We've got to make sure the president cannot sit there and say that he is going to do this or that without approval of Congress. The Constitution will not allow that, and neither will I.
Thank you. This question goes to both of you. If you're called to escort a person from a school board meeting after they've spoken out against these pornographic books and they've been told to leave, how would you handle that?
If a person is told to leave, they first issued a criminal trespass warning. You can't just arrest anyone immediately. They have to be warned that they are no longer allowed onto the property. De-escalation and trying to get people to understand what is going on and to slow down and calm down a little bit. I think that people are reasonable and can be reasoned with, and if you can get somebody outside the building to make sure that they're not causing disturbance or disorderly conduct or using vulgar profanity, I think when they do those things, a person can be arrested and taken to jail for those things. I think I've kind of answered that. I'll try to do that successfully, trying to get somebody out of the building.
Same question.
So I guess I'd have to figure out exactly why they're asked to be leaving. First of all, are they creating a disturbance? Or are they breaking a law by being at a public meeting of which they have a right to be at? That's what we have to look at. If you're not breaking the law, then there's no reason that you need to leave. These meetings are open meetings, and the ability for us to get up there and voice our opinions and let them know if we're dissatisfied with something that they're talking about, that's our right. And if you're not breaking the law, then you're not violating, if you're not breaking the law, then your rights should be recognized and respected.
Thank you. Last hypothetical question from a member. The federal government has issued mandates closing down businesses, telling people to mask up everywhere. Many of Llano County citizens refuse to close down, refuse to mask up, and will continue to operate business as usual. Calls from those who believe mandates or laws are asking for police assistance to close down these businesses. What is your response?
Like the district attorney's candidates just said, that a mandate is not a law, and law enforcement cannot act on mandates. And so as the sheriff and the sheriff's supervisor of deputies that will respond and will not act on mandates and mandates alone. There has to be a criminal offense, and we will not make arrests or close down businesses. We'll keep those businesses open.
Thank you. The question, did you answer? Yeah. Oh, go ahead, your turn. Same question.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same with the mandates and stuff, but you know, back when COVID took off here in Llano County, and I saw friends' businesses shutter up because they couldn't stay open, they couldn't pay their bills. That's ridiculous. It can't happen. Mandates, just like the mask mandate and things like that, you know, it all boils down to having respect for one another, if you want to be honest. If somebody chooses to wear a mask, that should be their option, and we shouldn't be chastising them if they wear a mask and we don't want to. That's right. If a store has to say, look, you need to have a mask to come in there, that should be that store owner's right to make that and right to refuse service. But that store owner needs to be given every opportunity to keep those businesses open so that they can continue to provide for their family, pay their bills, and live the life that they are supposed to be living in the United States.
Thank you. Llano County is ground zero for issues involving pornography in schools and libraries. Are you willing to arrest those who perverse such materials to minors?
If a person is providing pornography to children, yes, they can be arrested for providing that pornography to children. If they distribute that information to children and it is child pornography, that is an offense where a person can be arrested. But if, like the DA said, if they do not meet the requirement for child pornography, then there's nothing that law enforcement can do. We can present a case to the DA for review, and once it's reviewed, then we can move forward with it.
So along those same lines, yes, if there's actual pornography as defined by the law, child pornography, then absolutely steps would be taken against that. What the thing it is, with the stuff that's going on with the libraries right now, I think it's wrong. I don't think it needs to be in there. I think it needs to be removed so we wouldn't have this conversation. But here's something that I've constantly been asking myself. So back when I was a young man, nobody griped about the magazines being behind the counter of the store and covered up where kids couldn't get to them. I don't understand why we've lost the common sense to take those books from easy access from those kids. Allow the parents, if that's their duty, you need to let parents be parents on this, but don't allow the kids just to have full access to those things. And I don't know why we can't figure out a way to come to the table and figure out how to make that happen.
Thank you. This question goes to both of you. Llano County has a local militia group that's worked with the sheriff's office in the past. Over the last couple of years, there hasn't been a lot of activity. The local militia would like to know what your thoughts are on cooperating with the local militia.
Well, as your sheriff, I would visit with the incumbent or the former sheriff and find out how the militia works and find out what needs to be done to bring them active again. If they're actively doing things that benefit the community. I'm not too familiar with the militia, so I would have to review their policies or what they're trying to accomplish. But once after reviewing that, we'll make the decision. And I would take the Sheriff Blackburn's recommendation to figure out what is best suited for the community.
Same question to you.
I know a few members of the militia here in town. Have known them for a long time. I know them to be good people, and their ideals are to watch out for us. And when we were talking about the BLM protest a couple of 3 years ago, and how there was rumors that they were coming into town, and we were sitting on the square, we had folks sitting there kind of watching the statutes to make sure that anything didn't happen. And you look across in the Arrowhead Bank parking lot, and there's pickups lined up side by side with guys sitting on their tailgates. And if that wouldn't keep a bus rolling down the road, I don't know what would. So yeah, let's look at that. Let's continue that. Let's let these folks be involved in their community and make sure that everything's done safely. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your policy in dealing with ICE? ICE. For both of you.
So we have never really had, as far as ICE goes, we've talked about it in the past as far as maybe being able to hold some folks, since we don't have border patrol office here anymore. We used to have a satellite office. So if anybody that we stop that doesn't have, and it's really hard to see as far as what passports, what IDs, what work visas are actually real and fake. So one of the things that we've got to do is pay attention to this whole trafficking thing that they're talking about and things coming through. Be aware of those things. In order to do that, we've got to get the training, because we don't have just a whole lot of knowledge of ICE and everything up here. It's more south of here, and I'd like to bring more of that knowledge and more of that training to us. And I'd really like to have a place to be able to take them.
I think in Llano County here, we have a very limited relationship with ICE, because like my opponent said, they're mainly down in the South Texas area. We need to make sure that people that are arrested here that are illegal, we need to make sure that ICE is making sure that they are not terrorists, make sure that they are not child smugglers, make sure that they are not conducting crimes in our county. When we arrest someone here and we hold them for an ICE hold, ICE comes and picks them up and takes them to San Antonio, takes them to facilities in South Texas. And what they do with them there, I'm not sure what they're doing, but we know that they're releasing them if it's not a violent crime. The sheriff is doing a good job here holding those people, and I will do the same thing and make sure that they are released to ICE.
Okay, this question is for both of you. How will you work to protect our Second Amendment rights?
Your Second Amendment rights is your right to bear arms, and I will maintain what the Constitution says. I will not violate your rights. As a sheriff, I will make sure that if you carry a firearm, if you have a firearm in your home, as long as it's a legal firearm to hold and that you're not a felon, there is certain people that are not allowed to have firearms. We'll try to make sure that those people that are criminals do not have those firearms. You need to be able to protect yourselves, you need to be able to protect your children, and you need to be able to protect your property. As sheriff, I'll make sure that those rights are maintained and for the safety of you and your family.
Same question to Mr. Hartman.
Our Second Amendment right is stated in the Constitution, the law of the land. So that law is so important to all of us around, especially in Llano County. Not only will I make sure your rights are maintained, but I'll make sure that they're protected, because I took an oath to protect your rights of the Constitution. I will do that, absolutely. There's not going to be any point in time that I see that the people are going to be brave enough to try to come down here and take our guns from us. But if that were to happen, I will stand up to it.
Thank you. Okay, pop quiz for both of you. Can you name, you have 30 seconds. Can you name the 10 Commandments? Marquise.
Thou shalt not steal. Covet thy neighbor.
Do you want to try? Les.
Now I'm thinking back to confirmation class at St. James Lutheran Church. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not, I don't know if they're going to be in order, okay? Shalt not lie, shalt not steal, shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. You shall treat your, treat your neighbor as you yourself would want to be treated, which we miss that one all the time. Man, I'm so flustered right now. I don't know, what, I get 5 of them? Oh yeah, covet thy neighbor's wife, yeah.
All right, good job. All right, last pop quiz and I'll let you guys go. Name the articles of the U.S. Constitution. There are 7, to give you a hint. No? Anyone? Name the articles of the U.S. Constitution.
I think both of us would like to have a U.S. Constitution manual.
We will get you one. I will personally provide that for you later. Thank you guys.